Then here in Starkville, Mississippi State, I think it's down. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's down to 6.5.
Oh,
that
wow.
I think that opened at 8.5. So the public money is on Mississippi State at this point. People think the Bulldogs are, going to at least cover. They've covered 2 weekends in a row. I'm sorry, they covered 3 weekends in a row. They covered against Texas, so not getting wins, but beating the spread. So the bettors are picking up on that. Arkansas, Mississippi State, these are two not great teams. Arkansas is a good, bad team, I think. They're 4-3, but, their wins are UAB, I forget, it was like Alabama A&M or somebody, Arkansas Pine Bluff, something like that. They beat Auburn, and they did beat Auburn. And then they have that win over Tennessee, which is just a massive outlier at this point. But they got the win, and you got to give them full credit for that.
Yeah.
Then you have State, which has played better each of the last 3 weeks, and it feels like they're building towards finally breaking through and getting that win. My early thought is to take State. I may talk myself out of it. The more I look at State's defensive stats, the more I don't want to take Mississippi State. State's defensive stats are just unbelievable. In conference play, they're giving up 39 points per game. 39 points. The gap between 15th and 16th in points per game in this conference is the same as the gap between 5th and 15th in the conference.
Sad stat of the day. Bop.
Yeah. State has 5 sacks on the season. The team that's above them, 15th place, has 14. They have 3 times as many sacks as Mississippi State.
The 5 sacks number is unfathomable.
It's incredible.
To me.
It's incredible that you can't. You've played an FCS team, and you don't have but 5 sacks. State's given up 496 yards a game in SEC play, and it's not like that's much better in just overall play either. They're bad. They're bad defensively, and it's just difficult. They're giving up 449 yards per game, 33 points per game. State's giving up 33 points per game. The 15th place in the SEC scoring defense in all games is Florida at 24 points per game.
And now
10 points per game difference, basically.
And now in comes, although quite inconsistent throwing the football, a really dynamic athlete in Taylor Green.
Somebody said something. I think it was in the rumblings. I don't remember, but it was like, or maybe it was yesterday on the show, and they were just like, Mississippi State has struggled with dual threat quarterbacks. Georgia and Texas had a little bit more, and A&M had a little bit more of a drop back quarterback. And I'm just like, Texas and Georgia combined for 1,100 yards and 76 points. What is define a struggle? State just struggles with everything: dual threat, drop back, you, me, her, everyone. They can't stop anybody.
Yeah, a couple of deep in State territory turnovers kind of masked the score in the Texas game. But
yeah,
so mentioned a second ago about how Ole Miss needs to look better, right? That's the key. It's not just winning the game; it's how you look while doing it. Is it as simple as Jeff Lebby, Mississippi State, just need to win this football game, and anything short of that then becomes? It's like
they're the opposite of Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Like, if they were to win the same way they beat Arkansas last year, 7-3, completely disgusting football game, you would take it. You would take it and get off the field with your heads held high. You just have to win. So, yeah, Ole Miss needs to win with style. State just needs to win this week.
Because then the last 3 weeks, like, what did that mean? If this game on Saturday turns into a loss, then the idea of, hey, went to Austin and look, they got beat, but they were in it, right, for a while. And same thing in Athens, and they played well, and they moved the football, and we're only down a touchdown in the second half against Texas A&M. If that doesn't turn into a win, it's like, well, then what was all that? Was that just teams looking ahead because they saw the record and didn't really care, or were they actually improving? This is affirmation of improvement if they're able to get it done. And if they're not, a lot of questions should follow, I think. Which maybe not ultimately fair to allow 4 quarters to lead to such dramatic shift in reaction, but when you have a loss to Toledo on your schedule, that kind of comes with the territory.
If you end up 2-10 this year, even if you play well in these games, and you look like you're getting better, and you can really pin everything on the defense, And let's say you go out and you change defensive coordinators and you feel like you get a good staff in and you have a great recruiting class. You're still 2-10. And that means in year 2, you better be 6-6. You better be getting to a bowl game because back-to-back terrible seasons will not buy you, you'll get a third year just because State needs the continuity, I think. But you won't have a happy fan base. You won't have full stadiums. You won't have the buy-in that you want.
And it just helps with proof of concept too, right? I mean,
which you've got some of at State right now.
You've got some of it.
Van Buren and what the offense is doing. Levy clearly knows what he's doing. He's got a young piece to build around, but you got to win some games. And this is your best opportunity outside of UMass. This is your best opportunity coming in.
And you got to sell tickets, and you got to sell. I mean, that's part of the job as a coach is to be a salesman, both in recruiting. But I mean, the crowd wasn't bad on Saturday, but I mean, you were there. You saw that there's still
spots. Yeah,
there's a lot of empty seats, and if you want those empty seats to become butts in seats next year, a win Saturday will go a long way into getting those people, the more casual fans that aren't watching every snap and understanding that things are happening, right? The person that just kind of drives up for the game because it's fun, as opposed to drives up for the game because I got to watch my team regardless.